studied this chapter is more related to the time. Okay. What are the characteristics of the time actually?
Yesterday we have studied about these Shishumara planets.
This chapter is more related to the time.
Yeah, Shishumara planets we studied. In that, the Dhruvaloka is there in that Shishumara planet. Also, there is abode of Lord Vishnu. So these all planetary systems, they revolve around this pole star. And then that Agni, Indra, Prajapati, Kashyapa and Dharma also pay their respective obeisances to Dhruva Maharaj. And Dhruva Maharaj is given the honor of in charge of Kala Chakra. That's what we studied yesterday, Mataji.
Good, Mataji. That is how actually it is second sloka. It actually defines time is unsleeping. Ever time takes any rest? No. Correct, na?
No.
So it will not wait for anyone. So it will be always moving and we only have to move. So the characteristics of time actually, it is more powerful. And are you able to visualize time? We will not be able to visualize time. Correct, now we can only do the calculation how actually the day, night comes and goes. So Brahma's Kalpa, all those things we have studied earlier also. So daytime, 1 day is 1 Kalpa, and then similarly the same duration of time will take for the Brahma's night also, the equivalent time taken actually. So time is more powerful. Time is not visible. It is not visible to us. Only thing we can only utilize the time for calculation and then we can tell this time already we have lapsed. So accordingly only we are calculating our age also for this body. Correct, na? So like this time, the characteristic of time is no one can define because we cannot that is fully understand the qualities, or we cannot realize the God's magnanimous form and his activities. So all those things we have been studying, that is from the first chapter itself. First chapter, first sloka tells the 7 characteristics. Correct, na? He is Swarat. So time also is, he is also in the Kala Rupa also, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So like that, this chapter entirely is dependent mostly on the characteristics of the time only. As Prem Prakash Prabhuji has explained very nicely yesterday, I listened his class morning, I was not able to join, but he did a very well explanation about the time actually yesterday with respect to the introduction part and all. So whatever we have studied in the introduction part, same thing only, this all, I think totally, only 9 slokas are there. Let us see whether we will be able to complete that, because all are only direct what is that explanation. So there is nothing extraordinary thing we can be knowing, but one should meditate. Knowing this, one should meditate on the creation, how Lord has done this creation, and then how magnanimous his creations are. And then the creations are only so magnanimous means how Lord will be magnanimous. So all those things we need to understand, start understanding, and then we need to in depth we need to go and analyze actually. So there are not much purports actually, what the translation part. Let me share the screen. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Mudirayet Nashta Prayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavada Sevayam Bhagatya Uttama Sloke Bhakti Bhavati Naistiki. Reading from Bhagavadham, 5th canto, 23 chapter, and then 3rd sloka. Anyone would like to recite this sloka? Please raise your hand. We will distribute among the, I think till 7th sloka, if possible 9th sloka, till 9 also we can complete, because everything is direct. In the Shishumara's entire structure, we'll be able to see how the planets are being located. So that's how, and it will give, the Shishumara form is the universal form, wherein we can, in one of the slokas, it has been told to meditate. So when you are going to meditate on that, Lord will give the that is, we'll be able to understand the Supreme Personality of Lord through these prayers actually. So that's the main intention actually, and then the association. That means going back to Godhead actually will be easy. So to get liberated. So it's the ultimate goal of the base goal of any living entity is the first level is reaching to the abode of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, so that one will get free from this material world. So that is the goal. But when a devotee elevates and then reaches to the top level, so they will not be bothered whichever planet they have been taking a rebirth, that and all also they will not be bothered. To that level, we are not elevated, but at least to the base level, we should always think and meditate actually. So Yatha, yes, Madhumai Krishnakant Mataji, please recite Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय यथा मेढीस्तम्भ आक्रमणपशवः संयोजितास्त्रिभिस्त्रिभिः सवनैर्यथा स्थानं मण्डलानि चरन्त्येवं भगणाग्रहादया एतस्मिन् अन्तर्बहिर्योगेन कालचक्र आयोजिता ध्रुवमेवा अवलम्ब्य वायुनोदीर्यमाणा आकल्पान्तं परिचक्रमन्ति नभसि यथा मेघाः शेनादयो वायुवशाः कर्मसारतयः परिवर्तन्ते एवं ज्योतिर्गणाः प्रकृतिपुरुष संयोगा अनुगृहीताः कर्म निर्मितगतयो भुवि न पतन्ति. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Chitra Mohini Mataji.
हरे कृष्ण माताजी.
Hare
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय यथा मेढिस्तम्भा आक्रमण पशवः संयोजिता स्त्रिभिः सवनैर्यथास्थानं मण्डलानि चिरन्तैव भगणाः ग्रहादया एतेऽस्मिन् अन्तर्बह्योर्गेण कालचक्र अयोजित ध्रुवमेवावलम्ब्य वायोन् उदीर्यमानः अकल्पान्तं परिचक्रमन्ति नभसि यत मेघाः शैनादयो वायुवशः कर्मसारतयः परिवर्तन्ते एवं ज्योतिर्गणाः प्रकृतिपुरुषसंयोगानुगृहीताः कर्म निर्मितगतयो भुवि न पतन्ति. हरे कृष्ण माताजी. थैंक यू माताजी.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Vijay Kumari Mataji.
ओ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय यदा मेधिस्तंभ आक्रमणपशवः संयोजितस्त्रिभिः वै सवनैर्यथा स्थानं मण्डलानि सरन्ति एवं भगणागृहादया एतस्मिन् अन्तर्बहुर्योगेन कालचक्र अयोजित स्तं एव वलम्ब्य वायुनोदीर्यमाना आकाशबान्धं परिसंक्रमन्ति नभसि यदा मेघः स्येनदायो वायुवसः कर्मसारायः परिवर्तन्ते एवं ज्योतिर्गणाः प्रकृति पुरुष संयोगानुगृहीत कर्म निर्मित कथयो भुवि न पतन्ति. हरे कृष्ण माताजी. थैंक यू माताजी.
Thank you, Mataji. Venkata Narasimha Prabhuji.
हरे कृष्ण माताजी. यथा मेढी स्तंभ आक्रमण पशव संयोजिता स्त्रिभिः सवनैर्यथास्थानं मण्डलानि सरन्त्येवं भगणाग्रहदया एतस्मिन् अन्तर्बहिर्योगेन कालचक्रायोजित ध्रुवमेवावलम्ब्य वायुनोदीर्यमाणा अकल्पान्तं परिचक्रमन्ति नभसि यथा मेघास्येनादयो वायुवशः कर्मसारथयः परिवर्तन्ते एवं ज्योतिर्गणः प्रकृति पुरुष संयोग अनुग्रहीत कर्म निर्मित ततयो भुवि न पतन्ति. हरे कृष्ण माताजी.
Thank you, Mata. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Madhumaji Vilasini Mataji.
हरे कृष्ण माताजी, दंडवत प्रणाम माताजी.
Hare Krishna.
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय. यथा मेढी स्तंभ आक्रमण पशवः संयोजिता स्त्रिभिः सवनयः यथा स्थानं मण्डलानि चरन्त्येवं भगना ग्रहादया एतस्मिन् अन्त बहिर्योगेन कालचक्र आयोजिता ध्रुवमेव अवलम्ब्य वायुनो उदीर्यमाणा आकल्पान्तं परिचक्रमन्ति नभसि यथा मेघा श्येनादयो वायुवशः कर्मसारथयः परिवर्तन्ते एवं ज्योतिर्गणः प्रकृति पुरुष संयोग अनुगृहीतः कर्म निर्मित गतयो भुवि न पतन्ति. थैंक यू माताजी. हरे कृष्ण.
Thank you, Mataji. Yes. Prananandini Madhavi Mataji.
हरे कृष्ण माताजी. प्रणाम माताजी.
Pranam.
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय. यथा मेढिस्तंभ आक्रमणः पशवः समयुत त्रिभिः सवनैर्यथा स्थानं मण्डलिनी चरन्ति एवं भगना ग्रहादय एतस्मिन् अन्तर्बहिर्योगिन कालचक्र आयोजित ध्रुवम् एव अवलम्ब्य वायुन् उदीर्यमानः अकल्पन्तं परिचक्रमन्ति नभसि यथा मेघः सेनादयो वायुवश कर्म सार्थय परिवर्तन्ते एवं ज्योतिर्गणः प्रकृति पुरुष संयोग अनुग्रहतः कर्म निर्मित गतयो भुवि न पतन्ति. हरे कृष्ण माताजी. थैंक यू माताजी.
Thank you, Mataji. Yes, Revati Mataji.
हरे कृष्ण माताजी. ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय. यथा मेदि स्तंभ आक्रमण बसव संयोजिदास्त्रिभिः वैणवर्यदा स्थानं मण्डवानि सरन्ति एवं पागणाग्रहदाव एतस्मिन् अन्तर्बहिर्योगेन कालचक्र आयोजिता त्वम् एव वलम्ब्य वायुनो धीर्मनो आकाल्पान्तं परिचक्रमन्ति नभसि यथा मेघः स्नायदोयो वायुवसः कर्मसारायः परिवर्तन्ते एवमे ज्योतिर्गणः विक्रमी पुरुष संयोगिन गृहीतः कर्म निर्मिता कतयोपविनो वदन्ति. हरे कृष्ण. थैंक यू वेरी मच
Mataji. Srinivas Daimai Mataji. Daimai Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्ण माताजी, दंडवत प्रणाम.
Pranam.
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय. यथा मेढिस्तंभ आक्रमण पशवः संयोजितास्त्रिभिः सवनैः यथा स्थानं मण्डलानि चरन्त्येवं भगणाग्रहादय एतस्मिन् नन्तर्बहिर्योगेन कालचक्र आयोजिता ध्रुवमेवावलम्ब्य वायुनोदीर्यमाणा आकल्पान्तं परिचक्रमन्ति नभसि यथा मेघाश्येन दयो वायुवशा कर्मसारदयः परिवर्तन्ते एवं ज्योतिर्गणाः प्रकृति पुरुष संयोगानुगृहीता कर्म निर्मित गतयो भुवि न पतन्ति. हरे कृष्ण.
Thank you, Prabhu. Anyone, any other devotee would like to recite? Because this is a big sloka, I think we will not get opportunity to do the pending part. We can do in one day only. But this sloka is very bigger, wherein how actually the planets are being situated and how the rotation, on what basis the rotation is happening. Everything is with respect to the time that we are studying and we have studied also. In future also we will study, but there should be some. So we are Here the Dhruvaloka is being the pivot actually. So Dhruvaloka is where actually it's in the that is in the abode of Vishnu. So and all the stars are rotating. That is they are actually rotating in a particular orbit. So rotating the Dhruvaloka as the pivot. So on what basis they are rotating? So that's what we are going to study in this loka. Okay. So yatha meda medi stamba akramana pasava samyojita tribihi savanair yatha sthanam mandalani charanti evam bhagana gharaha adaya etasmin antarbahir yogena kalachakra ayujita dhruvam eva alambya vayuno dhiryamana pantam parichan kramanti nabis yatha megha Shenadayo Vayuvasa Dharma Sarataya Parivartante Evam Jyotirkhana Prakriti Purusha Samyoghanugir Grihitaha Karma Nirmita Gatayo Bhuvina Patanti. Synonyms. Yata, exactly like Medi Stambe to the pivot post. So for this we can give an example like how the oil mill, that olden days we had a oil mill in the center part that will be pivot, and then the two bulls will be tied to one of the wooden plank, and then they will be centrally also tied, and then it will rotate, or someone will be fixing that thing to that center rod, and then the bulls will be rotating. Okay, so similarly, one more example also is there actually. When you are giving a feed or you are making them to tread actually in a open lawn or somewhere in the fields, so there will be a center, what is that, one wooden piece will be fixed, and then the cow or the bull will be tied to that. So only in that particular circle only the bull will be able to thread the grass, correct na? Or the food, whatever we are going to keep in a bowl also, the thrashed rice, whatever it may be, will be keeping. So like that. So that Vedi Stambe means Stambam, like that. So Vedi Stambe means the pivot post. Akramana, Pashava, bulls for threshing rice. Actually, that is, it is fed actually. Samyojitaha, being yoked means fixed actually. So it is be fixed. So one of the wooden rod will be fixed on that lawn, and then it will be tied to the neck of the bull. So tribihi by three, savana, high movements, yathasthanam, in their proper places. So it can rotate only through that distance only, and that's how the orbit is being formed for every planet. Like a bull only, it will be fixed to particular orbit for each and every planets actually. Okay, and then how actually it is rotating also is been spoken in this sloka. So now what is making them to form the orbit we have studied, like with the analogy, wherein how actually it is going to rotate. So because of what is the force it is making them to rotate. So that's what we are going to see here. So here, yathasthanam, in their proper places. So that sthanam means, Hare Krishna. Sthanam means it defines the orbit actually. Okay, sthanam means not Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Mandalani, orbits. Charanti, traverse. Evam, in the same way. Bhaganaha, luminaries. The luminaries like the sun, moon, Venus, Mercury, Mars, Jupiter. Graha Adaya, the different planets. Etasmin, in this. Antabahihi Yogena, by connection with the inner and outer circles. Kala Chakre, in the wheel of eternal time. So Ayojita, fixed. Duruvam, Durvaloka, Eva, certainly. Avalambaya, taking support of. Vayuna. So here how actually it is rotating by the wind, the profile of wind actually. Udiryamanaha, being propelled, it is pushed, forced to rotate in that particular speed. So in physics, in very, that is maybe in the 6th standard or 7th standard and all we have studied, correct now? So there is a formula to calculate speed, distance and time. These three are interrelated actually. The speed is equal to, I think, I'm not able to recollect exactly, it is a multiplication or division actually. So meters per second, that means distance by time is equal to speed. Now we got actually. So speed, how actually, with what speed it will rotate is defined by the distance and the covered by that particular object and with respect to the time taken to traverse that particular distance. Correct now? That's how in the physics we have studied. Similar only it is actually. So it has that, but here we are not going to calculate, but it is already defined. So each and every planet has to move particular distance with a particular speed only in the means within a particular timeline, that particular distance has to be covered. So it is all fixed in a particular, accordingly the wind will propel actually. So it will push it so it to rotate. So that's how the rotation or the circumference only we can tell. It is actually rotating around the pivot. Here the Dhruva is the pivot. So Eva, certainly, Avalambya, taking support of. Vayuna, so it takes the support of Vayu. Udirayamanaha, being propelled. A kalpa antam, until the end of creation. Okay, that means when the creation is happening, so that time this all things will be happening. Parichan Kramanti, revolve all around. Nabashi, in the sky. Yatha, exactly like Megha, heavy clouds. I think that is here one analogy is like how clouds are moving. Similar way. Shena Adaya. So birds such as big eagle, Vayu Vasa, controlled by the air. We can see certain birds will, that is the flying height of a bird always depends on the how actually, that is, it is based on the creation. Correct now? So eagle will fly very high. Whereas a crow or a small birds like the cuckoos and all, it will not fly very high. So as per the capacity. So it has been defined. So the being the pivot, that is the pole star being the pivot, the all other that is planets are rotating in a particular orbit as per the creation made by the Supreme Personality of Godhead actually here. So we need to think about how actually this wind is being controlled by the Supreme Lord and how these planets are being situated in that particular position only, and it has been rotating against the pivot. All those things here we can see. So such as Vayu Vasaha, controlled by the hair. Karma Saratyaha, whose chariot drivers are the results of their own past activities. That means here these are also, these planetary systems are also the positions. Like how we have Brahma Loka, Brahma being the position, Indra, that is Devaloka, Indra being the position. These planets are also the positions. Okay. So as those who are qualified to become that planets, that is become the chariot drivers. So because of their own past activities. So based on the qualification only, everywhere qualification only. We have to see here. Any Devata's position is a qualification. It is a fitness certificate, whatever the characters they possess. If that, whatever the activities they have performed and as per the deeds. So if they are that the role and roles and responsibility of a particular Devata is mapping, he or she will be, that means the Jivatma will take that particular role. So everything in this material world are Jivatmas only. Only thing is They have been situated in the Sattva Guna, wherein we are always rotating in between the three gunas. Right now, Sattvam, Rajas and Tamas, majorly with the Tamas and Rajas only we are acting here, wherein the Devatas are fixed in the Sattva Guna. So that is one important qualification wherein we have studied in many of the places. Parivartante, move around. Evam, in this way, Jyoti Ganaha, the luminaries, the planets and the stars in the sky. Prakriti, of the material nature. Purusha, of the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna. Samyoga Anugrahita, supported by the combined efforts. Karma, so everything is the creation, the position, orbiting, to which distance the particular from the pivot, the particular star has to be fixed, and then its rotation orbit has to be done, and how actually the rotation has to make. These are all already done by the Supreme Lord. So that you have to understand here. Karma nirmita, caused by their own past fruitive activities, gataya, whose movements, bhuvi, on the ground, not patanti, fall down. Okay, they will not fall down, but they have to be. It's like we can compare our own life also to them, correct na? Wherein they are in a very higher level, wherein we are in the middle level, or it is the last level for any jiva to elevate, correct na? So in this Bhumandal, that is the earth planet, below if we go down, we will not come back again. That's there. So we may lose our, that is only gross elements, gross body kind of thing. Also we will be getting a body in the down, that is Atala, Sutala, Padala, all those lokas. So when we go down, we will not come back again. So the earth planet being the last planet, so that even if you are coming back, the rebirth will happen as per the karmic reactions. And then if you are coming back means the last graha is what the planet is, the earth planet only. Okay, if you go down, that means we are permanently pushed down only. So that we have to think here. And then even the devatas are also, they are also the jivas wherein who have done greater austerities. Okay, and then they are still in bound with the material. Even Sattva Guna also is the bounding factor only. How actually Sattva Guna expects happiness. So that's the reason it is getting bounded. We have studied already in the Bhagavad Gita. So anyone who is sticking to three gunas, they are also the conditioned souls only. When you are rising above the three gunas only, you will be able to get liberated. So one should strive for that in each and every chapter of Bhagavad Gita. So Supreme Lord Sri Krishna advises Arjuna, you rise above these gunas, like that. In second chapter only, he is advising based on all the three yogas, karma yoga, and that is there the bhakti yoga is a buddhi yoga, and then jnana yoga. So he gives more clarification for all the 5 factors which he is speaking in the first chapter, not to wage the war. So Supreme Personality of Godhead is giving very nice explanations there, and rise above these three gunas, Arjuna is giving an advice. So translation by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki jai. When the bulls are yoked together and tied to the central post of a thresh rice, they tread around that pivot without deviating from their proper positions. So how this thread here, it is by the air. So it is controlled by the air actually. It is not the physical thread, how it has been tied to the bull. It has been by the air, the pressure of the air, it has been fixed actually. One bull being closest to the post, another in the middle, another a third one in the outside. Similarly, all the planets and all the hundreds and thousands of stars revolve around the pole star, the planet of Maharaja Dhruva, in their respective orbits, some higher, some lower, fastened by the Supreme Personality of Godhead to the mission of material nature, according to the results of their fruitive acts. They are driven around the pole star by the wind. Okay. Here the rope is what? Is made of the wind actually. So the particular pressure, and then it has to fix to that orbit. So it has been controlled. Will continue to be so until the end of the creation. So that is till annihilation. It will be like that only. These planets float in the air within the vast sky, just as the clouds with hundreds of tons of water float in the air. or as a great Sina eagles due to the results of the past activities fly high in the sky and have no chance of falling to the ground. Eagle will fly very high, whereas the other birds will not fly that much high. So according to purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai, according to the description of the verse, hundreds and thousands of stars and the great planets such as the Sun, Moon, Venus, Mercury, Mars and Jupiter are not clustered together because of the law of gravity or any similar idea of the modern scientist. So we speak with respect to gravitational force. So every planet has a different gravitational force. That's what the science tells. But as per the Vedic system, it is as per the creation by the God. So these planets and stars are all servants of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Govinda or Krishna, and according to his order, they sit in their chariots and travel in their respective orbits. So they are personified. All these stars are personified and they will be rotating in the fixed orbit in their chariots. The orbits in which they move are compared to the missions given by material nature to the operating deities of stars and planets who carry out the orders of the Supreme Personality of Godhead by revolving around the Dhruva Loka, which is occupied by the great devotee Dhruva Maharaj. This is confirmed in Brahma Samhita also. Yakshakshur Esha Savita Sakala Grahanam Raja Samasta Sura Murtit Ashesha Teja Yash Yajna Brahmati Sambrita Kala Chakro Govinda Madi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. So here in the Brahma's prayers also it has been very nicely recited in Brahma Samhita. So Brahma's actually given this Brahma Samhita. In that he is speaking about how actually this similar structure has been made. So I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, under whose control even the sun, which is considered to be the eye of the Lord, rotates within the fixed orbit of eternal time. The sun is the king of all planetary system and has unlimited potential in heat and light. This verse from Brahma Samhita confirms that even the largest and the most powerful planet, which we have studied in the previous chapter, sun rotates from north to south and south to north, which we have studied. So within a fixed orbit or a Kala Chakra in obedience to the order of Supreme Personality of Godhead. So it is related to how we are defining our age actually by the sunset and the sunrise. So it is not by the number of years. It is by how many swasas we are taking, by the cycles of the inhale and exhale, wherein, and then the day and night also is calculated with respect to the sunset and sunrise. So this we have studied in the previous chapters in obedience to the order of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This has nothing to do with the gravity, but in science we speak like that, wherein everything is in action, is put in action by the creation by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, or any other imaginary laws created by the material sciences. Material scientists want to avoid the ruling government of the Supreme Personality because they don't have that vision. They don't have that vision. They all have the material vision, the Shakshu. They don't have the divine vision to visualize how the creation of Lord is happening. So they always think about with respect to the scientific factors, all those things, and therefore they imagine different conditions under which they suppose the planets move. The only condition is by the order or the will of the Lord. This is being happening. So is the order of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. All the various predominating deities of the planets are persons, the personified. And the Supreme Personality of Godhead is also a person. The Supreme Personality orders the subordinate persons and the demigods of the various names to carry out his supreme will. The fact is also confirmed in 9.10 where Krishna says, Maya Dikshena Prakriti Shiyate Characharam, moving and non-moving, everything. Hetu Nanena Kaunteya Jagat Viprarivartate. The material nature is working under my direction. Okay, O son of Kunti. And it is producing all. So how actually it is producing here? by this three unmanifested form of the three gunas, and then we have that is Panchamaha Bhutas. So all those things by these 24 elements, actually it is producing all what? The moving and the non-moving beings here. By its rule, this manifestation is created, annihilated again and again. So the orbits of the planets resemble the bodies in which all the living entities are seated, because they are both machines controlled by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita 18th chapter 61, Ishvara Sarva Bhutana Hridayesha Arjuna Tistati Brahmayam Sarva Bhutani Yantra Rudana Mayaya. Yantra Rudana. It is an instrument, correct now? The Supreme Personality of Godhead is situated in everyone's heart, Paramatma as Paramatma, and is directing the wanderings of all living entities. Correct now? So, but the desire will come from us only, but the directions will come from the Supreme. He is the approver that we have already studied in many places, who are seated as a mission made of the Jiva. So he is situated in the heart, and he has been acting as per the directions given by the Supreme Lord. The mission given by the material nature, whether the mission of the body or the mission of the orbit or Kala Chakra, works according to the orders given by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So everything as per the will of the Lord only it acts here, wherein we are controlled by the Kala Chakra. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, and as per our past fruitive actions, whatever we have performed, this Kala Chakra makes us to work. So material nature work together to maintain this great universe, and not only this universe, but also millions of other universes also beyond this one. The question of how planets and stars are floating is also answered in this verse. How they are actually floating by the profile of the wind. And that also has been controlled by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And they are being moving as the that is a bull being yoked. Correct now? It is like how actually a bull being tied to the yoke, and then the bull will be rotating, will be circling in that particular orbit only, like that only. All the planets, stars, everything been rotating. The planets and stars are enabled to float by manipulation of the air. It is due to such manipulation that big heavy clouds float and big eagles fly in the sky. Similar, it is an analogy here. So modern airplanes like the 747 jet aircraft work in similar way. By controlling the air, they float high in the sky, resisting the tendency to fall down. Resisting, it will never fall down. Such adjustments of air are all made possible by the cooperation of the principles of Purusha and Prakriti. So cooperation between the Purusha being the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and Prakriti being this material nature. By the cooperation of the material nature, which is considered to be Prakriti, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is considered the Purusha, all affairs of the universe are going on nicely in their proper order. Prakriti, the material nature, and Brahma Samhita again in 44 sloka. Srishti Sriti Pralaya Sadhana Shakti Rekha Chayeva Yashya Bhuvanani Vivarti Durga Ichhanurupam Api Yashya Chetasa Govinda Madi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. So the external potency, Maya, who is the nature of the shadow of the Supreme. So this that is Durga is being the shadow of the Supreme Personality of Godhead actually. So shadow of the Chit Shakti. So we know that Sat-Chit Ananda in the Chit. So the spiritual potency is worshipped by all the people as Durga, the creating, preserving and destroying agency of this mundane world. I adore the primeval Lord Govinda in accordance with whose will Durga conducts herself. She works as per the guidance, as per the will of the Lord. Material nature, the external energy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is known as Durga, or the female energy that protects the great fort of this universe. So this universe is considered as a one fort, that is a material fort, and it has been controlled by the Durga, she will be taking care of this entire universe, but as per the will of the Lord. So she has been created. The word Durga means fort. This universe is just like a great fort in which all the conditioned souls are kept and they cannot leave unless they are liberated by the mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The Lord himself declares that in 4.9, Janma karma cheme divyam evam yo vetitat patah Tvektva deham punarjanmam naitimam yeti so Arjuna. One who knows the transcendental, that is the transcendental nature of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, by my appearance, that means by his appearance and the activities, does not, upon leaving this body, take birth again here. They will not come back again here in this. That means knowing the supreme position of the, that is the Supreme Personality of the Godhead, and then under whose action all this universe has been working, and then it has been controlled by him. So when one is able to realize, so it is by the realization, not by just learning, it is only by the realization. He will not come back again, actually. And as he will realize, he is also an eternal, that is a living entity, being a part and parcel of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and he knows what is the ultimate goal of his life, what is his primary activity, and then he will be indulged in that activity only. So by that he will get purified, and then he will not come back again here. By simple, by the Krishna conscious, by the mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one can be liberated, or in other words, one can be released from the great fort of this universe and go outside it to the spiritual world. It is also significant that the predominating deities of even the greatest planets have been offered their exalted post because of the valuable pious activities. As I have mentioned earlier during the synonyms only, in this material world, everyone are jivas only, but by their past deeds, so they will get the position. This is indicated herein by the words karma nirmita gathaya. For example, as we previously discussed, the moon is called jiva, which means that he is a living entity like us, but because of his pious activities, he has been appointed to this post as a moon god. Similarly, all the demigods are living entities who have been appointed to various posts as the masters of the moon, earth, Venus, and so on, and because of their great service and pious acts. Only by the predominating deity of the sun, Surya Narayana, is an incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Maharaja Dhruva, the predominating deity of Dhruva is also a living entity. Thus, there are two kinds of entities. One is the supreme entity, that is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and the other one is the ordinary living entity. Nityo Nam, Chetana Nam. We have studied many times this in Katha Upanishad. So all the reference, actually, all the demigods are engaged in the service. They have given a portfolio to take care of certain things. So that action will be taken without any deviation. That is the only target they are having. They will work on that. That's it. So all the demigods are engaged in the service of the Lord, and only by such an arrangement are the affairs of the universe going on. How they are able to practice that? Can anyone think of that? Because they would have cultivated the habit of performing the devotional service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That is the only task they would have taken. So that made them to do this work also. But here, if we are not coming out of the three modes, obviously we have to return. So that made them born. By doing so, if you are getting happiness, for example, when a person is situated in Sattva Gun, and then whatever devotional service or whatever the actions, even the material work they perform, if they are expecting the happiness, that kind of jivas will become all the demigods. So regarding the great eagles mentioned in this verse, it is understood that there are eagles so big that they can prey on big elephants. They fly so high that they can travel from one planet to another. So they start flying from one planet and land in another, and while in the flight they lay eggs that hatch on into other birds while falling through the air. In Sanskrit, such eagles are called as Shena. So under the present circumstances, of course, we cannot see such huge birds, but at least we know the eagles can capture monkeys. That means their vision is very sharp. Okay, from very high position also, in a very far distance, they'll be able to locate what is there in the ground. So that is the vision of a eagle. So, and then throw them down to kill and eat. Similarly, it is understood that they are gigantic birds that can carry off elephants and kill them and eat also. So to that level also it is there. The two examples of eagle and the crowd are sufficient to prove that flying and floating can be made possible by the through the adjustments in the air, but that adjustment is not physically done. That has been controlled by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The planets in a similar way are floating because the material nature adjusts the air according to the orders of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and it could be said that these adjustments constitute the law of gravity. In science, we will tell that as a law of gravity. But in any case, one must accept that these laws are made by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The so-called scientists have no control. We cannot control anything here. The scientists can falsely, improperly declare that there is no God, but that is not the fact. Very nice line it is. We can tell by chance we are born here, by the chemical and physical combinations we are born here in the womb of the mother, but that doesn't take place. It is only as per the will of the Lord. Everything is working here. Sorry, I have taken more time being a lengthy purport. Okay. So one thing from this sloka, we are able to understand how actually the orbits has been defined and how the rotation of the each and every planet is happening. So we are able to understand. So everything under the control of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Okay, through the wind propelled, those planets are rotating, and then they are fixed to the pivot through the air only. Okay, it is not a physical rope like how the bull is being tied to the yoke. It is not like that. So we need to, we cannot imagine also. We cannot imagine also, because that is our intelligence level. And then that's how the structure, we feel the earth is not moving, but still the earth is moving. Correct now? We have constructed the house and it is as fixed, and then it's not anything, any shift, something kind we are not able to realize also, but still earth is also moving. It's also one of the planet. Correct now? So we should understand how great the God created such a universe. Even though we want to lord it over, he has given such a great place to come here, and then he has taken care of everything for all the living entities. So we should be so grateful, and then we should realize what is our ultimate goal, and then we should start rendering the services to the Supreme Personality as a major thing. That is the topmost priority. We do devotional service, but the priority will always vary. Correct now? So, Panchakalpadarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyev cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Anantakoti Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai, Namacharya Haridas Thakur ki jai. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare